Horrific Visions Burnout. As any content of World of Warcraft that we are doing repeatedly, we burn out at one point. I've done a metric crap ton of Horrific Vision runs on this channel as documented, and I'd like to share my impressions with you in this video. Stick around. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Gyro here. As I just said to you, I'd like to have another chat type of video with you today. I'm going to be using very shortly footage of my couple of my last attempts at trying to push higher in Horrific Vision of Stormwind, trying to push 4 masks on my Death Knight, and trying to push 5 masks clear on my main Demon Hunter. Thing is that I think I'm starting to hit a wall of a burnout. I think mental health is very important to us at the best of times, and right now, when half of the world at the very least, if not more, is in isolation, I think it is important for us to make sure that games continue delivering value and continue entertaining us first and foremost. I think it is important for us to keep an eye on when it stops being fun. When does it stop being fun? And I think that, roughly that, whatever that means to you, that is the time when you should stop pushing. Am I trying to say that I am going to stop running Horrific Visions now? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm specifically addressing is that frontier that I've set for myself a while ago now when I created this channel. I wanted to push as far as I can go and as far as I was having fun with it on my casually geared alts, on my main, who is now 457, almost 460, right? And on some other alts, my Death Knight is another reasonably highly geared alt by my standards. He's about 453, 454 right now. So my goal was to set this as that frontier for me, set that, so basically not stop until I have a 5 mask clear of Orgrimmar and 5 mask clear of Stormwind. Now, I've been playing this a lot in the background, not just to produce content for this channel, but just to do what I set off to do. This is my end game in World of Warcraft right now. That's how I relax after work. That's how I communicate with some of you guys. That's, you know, that's what we do, basically. But I'll be honest with you, the last couple of runs, including this one that I'm showing to you almost from the very beginning, but the main stuff you will see as we talk, it took it out of me. Those runs took it out of me. Those runs made me possibly realize I had frustration before. Moments. But these were the runs, and this was kind of the most recent run that made me realize that I'm starting to feel something similar to burnout before. Not burnout that comes from no content that I enjoy in World of Warcraft, then I just stop, and I recommend that you stop too. That's just for the good of your future in this game as well. Take a break, come back when you feel refreshed, come back when you have switched towards something, play something else. I like World of Warcraft, I don't want to play something else. Horrific Visions probably were among, they probably still are among the examples of content that I enjoyed the longest, if we look at the content that I was doing almost exclusively. I cannot even remember for many years now the period of time when I picked basically one piece of content in World of Warcraft from the available to us and just stuck with that. I practically cannot remember that time. So Horrific Visions were that content for me, and to an extent still remain content. But my point to you guys is that I feel that the longer you do it, the uglier it gets, the uglier the picture gets. Don't come at me just yet. I will let you go and type in the comments down below whatever you have to say, and I would love to hear from you, by the way, yeah? Especially from the people who have been with me from the very beginning. First of all, I miss you guys, and second of all, you had opinions about this content, and you had opinions about Horrific Visions specifically as a feature. Yeah, we're not even talking about content I produce, but I'm talking about the content that I produce around a certain feature. I want to hear what you think about this. But basically, I think I'm starting to hit a brick wall, and I feel like I just need to accept the fact that until I am significantly higher item level, or until I've given myself a break from pushing the higher end of horrific visions, and I'm talking masks. I'm talking mask clears on characters like this guy, who is my best geared person, best geared character, and he doesn't have it enough in him to clear the vision with 5 masks. Best I could do on him is a 4 mask clear, which I'm still very proud of, because we are in the realm of 450s, or 4, like, yeah, and I still believe, I don't ask for any compliments, brownie points, whatever, I'm just sharing my honest opinion. I think that for a 456, 457 character, a 4 mask clear is okay, is pretty good. 5 masks, I tried several times. This is yet another attempt that's gonna fail. And it fails so kind of badly, in my opinion. Not like, if you could fail at a good point where you felt like you put up a fight and then you failed to a worthy enemy, so to speak, maybe you feel better about it all. But in this particular case, the only thing that stands out to me is that I don't think that in this case the fail even came from a worthy opponent. And that is what I will write off on really ridiculous design around inconvenience, design around artificial hindrances. And I know that's often how you create obstacles for people. Look, when you are traversing an army course, like when you run through specific obstacle course, right? They are artificial obstacles. I get that part. And here they created these artificial obstacles for us as well. I get that, I do. Problem is, I think designers, in this case developers of World of Warcraft, at the top end of what these horrific visions become, with all 5 masks active in this particular case, unless you are overgearing it, but again, enough was said about this part of how I produce content. I'm not overgearing content. I think they kind of forgot that people need to have fun. People need to have a buzz, a rush from it, rather than sense of frustration and sense of being constantly pushed back against a brick wall. Once again, unless the part of design is the intent that you simply are never supposed to do a 5 mask clear until you are 465 or 470. I don't know. Maybe that is exactly how they funnel us back into Mythic Plus and organized raiding. I don't know. It could be the case, but I'm not gonna probably spend too much time on conspiracy theories today or in this video. I just wanted to vent to you guys as my people who support me on this channel, who are fellow casual horrific vision runners. I still see you guys as such, and I just wanted to share this with you. I started, again, to recap what I was saying this whole time. I think mechanics like this, like being feared into a bunch of very conveniently spawning around you mirror images, or whatever they're called, it's just, it just gets too much after you've done it 100 times. And I'm not gonna say that I've done it 100 times, but I think it feels like I have. Yeah, I didn't count how many times I ran these horrific visions. Probably 100 times easily. So that's kind of the main thought. I feel like I'm burning out, and I feel like before I properly burn out and before I properly feel like I need to take a break, I feel like I owe it to myself. I feel like I owe it to you guys to first of all talk to you a little bit about health and sanity, as far as our sanity is concerned in these days, to not push it towards additional limits using this kind of crazily ramped up difficulty of content, um, and just encourage you to try and seek to have fun, basically. And I believe, again, at this moment, even looking, commenting on this video, narrating this video, I can tell you honestly, this didn't feel like an exhilarating challenge anymore. It felt like, oh, I'm gonna die once again to some bullshit mechanic that's not even gonna be a hard boss. It's just gonna be some random stun that didn't come from, I don't even know from where it came, and boom, I'm dead because damage is ramped up by 4,000%, and some of that 400% sanity damage. I'm talking about the Mask of the Daredevil, obviously, here, and also the Mask of the Long Night has shortened my lifespan, sanity lifespan, to a half, and things like that. When you look at the compounding effect of it, it's kind of like, oh, come on, guys, like, do you think you design a game where I'm supposed to have fun, right, and explore this content to the fullest, like a runner in a competitive marathon who suddenly, like, I don't excuse the, I don't know, the morbid slash sad kind of comparison here. Like, I just lost a leg, but I'm supposed to continue running a marathon and pretend that I'm enjoying it. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I apologize for slightly gruesome, maybe sad comparison here. We're not talking about warlike heroic acts. We're talking about an entertainment source. This stops being entertaining to me. Talk to me. Tell me if this is still entertaining for you. Tell me if reaching that end goal, that pinnacle of the mountain that you're climbing, is worth all the frustration, all the mice slammed on the keyboard, all the that's it, I'm out, all of those feelings. Are all of those negative emotions, all of those negative hormones that the body is producing, all that cortisol basically, is it all worth it? For me, it's not. And again, I just wanted to vent to you in this video. I'm just a boy and I just made a video as a very cool dude who I started following, a very good content creator who posts videos about survival hunters. I will maybe start featuring channels like this for you going forward. By the way, spoiler alert, wasn't intended right now, which is why I'm not prepared to talk about this right now. But I just liked how he started his video, and he said, I'm just a boy and I just decided to make a video. Well, I'm just a boy slash man, and I decided to vent today to you guys because I see it as a club of friends. Now, on a more positive topic, and let's get out of this. So I think I made myself loud and clear. I don't think it's worth pushing beyond belief when you see that you're hitting a brick wall. It's not fun. I still continue having a lot of fun with my alts. I have a lot of alts, as I mentioned to you, and I have tested. Now I'm starting to test and I'm starting to learn from others. That's how I found the channel of that person who I was just referring to. I started researching survival hunters, for example. What a broken, what a horrible spec. But there is something cool about it. And if nothing else, I just love using the harpoon and pulling myself to the target. So I am going to continue possibly treating, excuse me, horrific visions as my end game content, because there is nothing else to do and I'm not in alpha. But I believe that I think I'm going to go up to the fun level on each character, and I'm going to report on that to you guys. I'm going to continue publishing videos and tell you how enhancement shaman feels here, how survival hunter feels here. Is it completely horrible, and at which point does it get horrible, and whatever. But I'm not gonna lead myself to a dead end like this feels right now, yeah, on the screen. I don't think I'm in that mood anymore. I'm not having fun, and I want to have fun. And where do I have fun? Well, I have fun in playing different characters. I have fun in exploring new specs, exploring specs that I am aware of, but I haven't particularly played them much, and there is just sense of novelty in this for me. And obviously on the sidelines we'll continue talking about Shadowlands Alpha. At the moment still using footage and using news from the websites like MMO Champion and Wowhead, and footage from other people, other content creators who are lucky enough to be in Alpha. That's all that's left for me to do there, and that's kind of how I feel at the moment. I would love for you to talk to me in the comments down below and share, how do you spend your fun time in WoW? And please be honest in terms of, if you are a raider and if you've been raiding for a while, is it really, do you really find it still fun, or is it more of a chore slash what you do? It's just what I do. It's not necessarily fun, but it's kind of almost like a job-like activity that you do. It's a habit, it's an addiction, it's a something else to you. I'm curious to see. It's not like I'm writing a thesis about this, but because we talk about these things and because the questions of mental health, especially in this period of time, being kind of grown-ups here, are important to all of us, I think this is a valid, good topic to discuss, and I would be very interested to hear how my audience is feeling. So, what brings you joy as far as World of Warcraft is concerned? Once the novelty and excitement of Horrific Visions has worn out, what do you do? Do you still run Horrific Visions? Do you do something else? Do you alternate? Do you switch a new character? Do you roll a new one from zero? What do you do? Because I've done all of that. Not in this time frame, so I think I still have, if we look at it as a chessboard, I believe that I still have moves that I can make before it's a checkmate. Yeah? So it's definitely not that morbid and not that bad. But Horrific Visions, guys, I think I'm gonna just push to full clears with different characters. Obviously gonna try. But masks, especially this compounding effect of these horrible masks and stuns everywhere and all that, it's not fun for me. It's just not fun anymore. And what's not fun, I'm not doing. Couple of words before we wrap up about the latest on Torghast. Torghast obviously is something that I wait for. You, I think, do too, because if you like Horrific Visions, if you even subscribed for this content, I assume you like this kind of stuff. I assume this is, if not your main activity, it has to be some activity of yours, right? Well, tell me, yeah? Torghast appears to be better. Obviously newer. Obviously, we just have been eating the same soup over and over and over and over. And I'm not talking just about Horrific Visions and 8.3. I'm talking about BFA in general. BFA. And Torghast seems to be a lot better. It seems to be a lot less constrained. It seems to be more variable. There was just a new interview released with Paul Cubitt, who, as they do these days, dropped into a Twitch stream of Taoli, who is one another arguably annoying dude, who I think is a sort of a high-profile tank as well. And by as well I mean like Sloot, except Sloot, in my opinion, is a lot more pleasant as a person to hear and to just see how he expresses himself on Twitter and how respectful he is of people. Taoli, I think, is a little bit more of a, yeah, I don't want to say the word, just use your imagination here. And I'm dead, by the way. This is just, that's it. Yeah. So anyway, so there was another interview, so I encourage you to read it on Wowhead, and I encourage you to see what he said there. A lot of new information about Torghast. So we'll be talking about that as well. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll talk to you next time, and thank you for the opportunity to vent.